Purandara Dasa is known as the Haridasa Sahitya Pitamaha. He is actually a musician, he's a saint, and he's also known as the incarnation of Narada Muni. But the life story of how he was a normal human being and his character defects and how all that helped him to become a devotee is definitely worth our meditation, our glorification, and also what kind of lessons we can learn from this great personality. I started learning about Purandara Dasa when I was a child. We had to study some life history of great saints of Karnataka, South India. And so we studied also about him. But as a teenager, I understood more in terms of his contributions to the Vaishnava Sampradaya, where, he was so expert at giving traditional, social, mental health, emotional, and spiritual lessons to all human beings and to stay connected to this lineage of Vaishnavism. So I'm going to give very, very short history, but I'm going to explain certain songs. But at the after a while, I'm going to speak for 15 minutes about certain important songs that has touched my life. And then we're going to watch a little movie that is about his life story. It is going to be in the language Kannada, so I will be translating it as the movie is playing. So yeah, and today is Amavasya, which means it's the new moon. So the new moon is considered to be inauspicious for material activities. And it is considered to be very auspicious to do spiritual glorifications, meditations, japa, all kinds of things like fasting. Okay. Is there a way that I can just put the setting to everybody's on mute? Because if somebody comes in and if they're unmuted, it disturbs everybody. Is there a way to do that now? For the participants, mute all upon entry. Done. Yes. Good. Okay. So just a short, brief history about Purandara Dasa. He was the very rich person. And I'm not going to tell all the story of what we're going to watch in the movie, but I am going to say a few things that deep realization, that deep sense of connection with how spirituality can heal our material diseases, how spirituality can cure our sense of addictions to, like in his case, it was money, but we will see in the whole life story, how Krishna consciousness or God consciousness or spirituality done right can actually give us fulfillment, happiness, and make us be the best version of ourselves. I mean, it's been 600 years, 570 years that he left. And even today, his songs are considered to be the topmost, high class in the way he wrote it, both in literary world and also in the music world. It is considered to be the Bible of all classical music. So what I'm saying is when we dedicate our lives to spiritual path, God reveals to us, Krishna reveals to us what should be our career, how we should go further in our life. So without further delay, I want to share a few songs that he wrote. This is one of my favorite ones. Nara Janma Bandaga Nalige Iruvaga Nara Janma Bandaga Nalige Iruvaga Krishna Yanabarade Krishnana Nenedare Kashta Ondishtilla Krishna Yanabarade ನರ ಜನ್ಮ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾಲಿಗೆ ಇರುವಾಗ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯನ ಬಾರದೆ ಮಲಗಿದ್ದು ಮೈ ಮಿರಿದು ಏಳುತ್ತ ಹೊತ್ತಲೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯನ ಬಾರದೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ನೆನೆದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯನ ಬಾರದೆ. ಸ್ನಾನ ಪಾನ ಜಪ ತಪಗಂಗಳ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯನ ಬಾರದೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ನೆನೆದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯನ ಬಾರದೆ. So I'm not singing the whole song, but I'm giving like a few lines of relevance for our life. Nara Janma means the rarest form of material life, which is human life, human existence, human body, which is very rare because we can talk, we can think, we can see, we can walk, which means we can see the form of the deity, we can walk to the temple, we can chant the holy names, we can read and understand philosophy, and that great fortune is available only in human birth. Dog and cat cannot do that, or any other species of life cannot do these things. So Nara Janma is so rare. Once you have it and you have a thing called tongue, utilize that, oh my dear human being, to perfect your life's existence by calling out Krishna. So Krishna is the name of the holy name of God, by calling upon which you will get liberated from all kinds of pain and misery. And by even for the effort of chanting Krishna, there is actually no difficulty. Prabhupada once actually said, there was a man who was in the deathbed and he was like really in pain. And the wife came to him and said, chant Krishna, chant, chant. And he was just like, I can't chant Krishna. I can't chant Krishna. So the point is, when we are struggling, when we are in pain, we're going to call out to something. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, my God is actually a little bit borderline. We say, oh, whatever. We cry out of pain, right? There is a release of something. So this song, the point is like, you're going to release your frustration. You're going to really, or say, wow, yes, I did it. So whatever it is, whether it's happiness, whether it's distress, whether it is you're eating a feast or whether you are fasting, either circumstances, there's no difficulty to just call out the holy names of the Lord. Okay, so that's the whole point. And then even it says, while taking shower, remember Krishna. And when you are, what was the other one? And when you are in difficulty, call out to the Lord. And when you're grateful, you call out to the Lord. So you call out to the Lord in every circumstance. So the essence of this song is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. In essence, that is his point here. And then there's another very famous, I mean, there are so many famous songs that he wrote. We will hear something in the movie also. We will hear some of the songs, but I'm trying to cover those which is not in that movie. This is another relevant point for us. So first is like, how do we live human life? Okay, that was one clue he gave in that song. It's actually a summary of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita as well, whatever he sang. This is another one. Malagi parama daradi paadalu kulitu keluva ಕುಳಿತು ಪಾಡಲು ನಿಲುವ ನಿಂತರೆ ನಲಿವ ನಲಿದರೆ ಒಲಿವ ನಾ ನಿಮಗೆಂಬ ಸುಲಭನೋ ಹರಿ ತನ್ನವರನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಗಲನು ಪಾಮರರು ಬಳಲುವರು ಬಂದು ಭವದೊಳಗೆ ತನು ನಿನ್ನದು ಜೀವನ ನಿನ್ನದು ಅನುದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಹು ಸುಖ ದುಃಖ ನಿನ್ನದಯ್ಯ ತನು ನಿನ್ನದು ಜೀವನ ನಿನ್ನದು ಅನುದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಹೋ Sukha dukkha ninnadayya tanu ninnadu jivana ninnadayya. Tanu means this material body. Jivana means this life. So this material body, this is formed of different elements, is a gift of God. It's a gift by the Lord. For us, we are able to have the senses, which are certain senses are knowledge acquiring senses, such as eyes and ears. We can acquire knowledge through these senses. And through these knowledge acquiring senses, we understand the purpose of our life. And every day we can live in such a way that we can achieve the highest, best good for ourselves and the world and the universe. And in that way, we actually offer the service. And sukha dukkha ninnadaya, even the happiness and distress that is coming into our life is actually a gift of the Lord to help us move towards the purpose of our life. And so that's another song. And there's another one. This is another one. This is maybe I should actually be showing you the pictures of Balaji. Let me just show you. Pankajanetram. Okay, I'm gonna show you this special place because this is the Krishna Deva Raya. This used to be 600 years ago, the king that ruled. And so Purandara Dasa was during that time. And this temple, this is called Tirupati Tirumala, for those of you who may know. This is the Tirumala temple. And you can see there are so many pictures here. This is actually the richest temple in the world. And of course, who is the Lord there? Is Balaji. Balaji Bhagavan is Krishna himself, Srila Prabhupada also confirmed. And this is not just a deity carved by any human being. This is actually the Lord himself 5,000 years ago. He just became the stone. Let me just show you the original Balaji. This is the original Balaji here. This is the original. I mean, they only allowed, I think, once to take a photo of him. This one here in the side, that's the original. So he's actually, the story is such that he became a stone because of certain conversations between Lakshmi Devi and Padmavati Devi. In this incarnation of Balaji, the story follows like this. In quick short summary of the story is when the Lord was in Vaikunta and he was with Lakshmi Devi relaxing, and Durvasa Muni, who is known to be very, very angry person, very temperamental, came to see who is the best deity, who is the best God, whether it's Brahma, Vishnu or Maheshwara. So when he came, he was checking Brahma, and Brahma was very busy with his wife and he didn't pay attention. So he cursed Brahma in Kali Yuga, nobody will worship you. He cursed him because Brigu, what did I say? Durvasa, sorry, not Durvasa, Brigu Muni. So Brigu Muni is known to be very temperamental and very powerful in giving curses or benedictions. And then after Brahmaloka, he goes to Shiva Loka. And when he goes to Kailash, he also sees that Mahadev is busily dancing with Parvati Devi and he doesn't pay attention to Brigu. And Brigu actually thinks that Mahadev is not looking at him. But Mahadev was actually looking at him, but he ignored him. So Brigu leaves cursing. He curses Shiva, saying, you will be worshipped in the form of Linga. Linga is basically the penis, the penis of Mahadev. So that we worship the Shiva Linga, right? So so he says you'll be worshipped only as that. You won't be worshipped in your full form. And then he goes to Vaikuntha Loka. And there also Mahavishnu, Vishnu is very busy with Lakshmi Devi. So while he is very busy with Lakshmi Devi, he looks at Bhrigu coming there, right? But then he's continuing what he's doing, getting his massage from Lakshmi Devi. And then Bhrigu becomes very upset and he comes and says, how dare you don't pay attention to me? I'm here and you're supposed to be God of 3 worlds and you're just not even looking at me. So he takes his feet and kicks him in the chest. So when Vishnu is not upset with these things because he has a leela, he has a purpose, right? So he kicks him. And you know who is here? You can see even here, Balaji, you can see at his chest, there is Lakshmi Devi, Sri Devi and Bhudevi reside there. It's a very holy place. So imagine this devotee coming and kicking the Lord on his chest. So this offends Lakshmi Devi immensely. So what Vishnu does, he very quietly says, oh, your soft lotus feet, my dear Rishi, must be hurting because my hard chest must have hit your foot. Let me massage you. So he takes the foot of Bhrigu, and Bhrigu is known to have 3 eyes, 2 on his face, and he has 1 eye in his feet. And that's what gives him all his mystic powers and ability to curse and everything. So and then it gives a lot of pride to him. So Vishnu is taking his feet and massaging him softly with the purpose of removing that eye. So he presses the eye so much that, of course, Bhrigu loses that eye. And then he comes to his senses, right? Sometimes we are so proud about something, maybe our looks, maybe our money, maybe our qualification, right? Sometimes we are so in illusion, but sometimes we get one big slap and then we realize, oh my God, wait a minute. So that happened to Bhrigu. So when Vishnu takes the feet and does that, and Bhrigu comes back to senses, oh my God, my dear Lord, I'm so sorry. How could I kick you in your chest? He just becomes very, very regretful. But it's too late already for Lakshmi Devi, because Lakshmi Devi is like, how could you allow this man, this Rishi, this sage to kick you where I stay? I'm leaving you. And then I'm leaving you and going away to earth to do my austerities. So she comes down to earth. This is all is happening in the spiritual world, right? This is all Leela, obviously. Like this is all like pastimes for a certain purpose. So she comes down to earth, and she as Mahalakshmi in Kolhapura. Kolhapura is in Maharashtra. So she goes there and starts performing austerities. And Vishnu cannot live without Lakshmi. He's just going crazy in separation. So he says, what am I going to do here? Lakshmi Virahita Vaikunta. What is the point of Vaikunta without Lakshmi? I'm going as well. So he also leaves and comes down to earth. So that he can look for her, right? But then he accomplishes so many purposes, such as in his Krishna avatar, he was unable to let Yashoda Maya see him being wedded. So Yashoda always had a dream to see Krishna being married. And so in this incarnation as Balaji, Yashoda Maya was waiting for Krishna to come. And she was in the forest in Tirumala, waiting that one day Krishna will come. One day he will come. So she was waiting for that opportunity. So he came and they met. Bakula Devi, her name was Bakula Devi, who's Yashoda Maya herself. And what happens is he meets this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful princess, Padmavati, and he falls in love. Yeah. And that Padmavati is nobody ordinary. She was the Maya Sita. So basically, when Ravana kidnapped Sita Devi, he didn't kidnap the original Sita. He kidnapped somebody called Vedavati. So Vedavati was actually kidnapped. Sita was not actually kidnapped. Sita was with Agni Dev. She was protected. She was actually in a different place. But Maya Sita, Vedavati, was taken by Ravana. So during when Agni Pariksha was happening, when Sita Devi went into fire to prove her chastity and her purity after coming back from Ravana's place, at that time, Vedavati, she's the one who goes into the fire, and then Sita comes out. And then the explanation has been given by our acharyas that Sita was never touched by Ravana. And it was actually Maya Sita doing this service. So then Ram is very pleased. And so he asks Vedavati, what wish, what boon, what do you want? Granted. And so she says, I want you to marry me. I want to be your wife. And this is not Krishna, you see. Krishna came and he married all the princesses that Narakasura had kidnapped. But this is Lord Ram. This is not Krishna. And Lord Ram says, I'm so sorry. In this incarnation, I have vowed to take only one wife. Eka patni vratasta. I'm only going to take one wife. So I'm very sorry, but I will come back in the Kali Yuga. This was previous Kali Yuga. I'll come back in Kali Yuga as Balaji, and then I'll marry you. So this Vedavati, Padmavati, is nobody ordinary, but is the person that Lord Ram promised. So in this way, there were so many pastimes to fulfill the devotees' desires and the promises in different incarnations, as Lord Ram, as Krishna. He came as Balaji to fulfill that. In every incarnation, Krishna does that. He, like, for example, when all the rishis, they saw in Dandakaranya forest, they saw, like in Treta Yuga, they saw this beautiful Ram. They were all sages in the forest, but they became so attracted to Lord Ram. In their heart, they developed desire to have a conjugal relationship with him. So Lord Ram noted it down. And then he said, in Dwapara Yuga, your desires will be fulfilled. So all these sages who developed the desire with Lord Ram, they became the gopis in the Dwapara Yuga. So we see with our mundane vision of, oh, Krishna had so many wives and this and, and all that. But Krishna, the acharyas in the story says, these were not ordinary people. These were great sages who had developed that desire, and Krishna was ready to fulfill. So the purpose of this story is to sing this particular song of our Purandara Dasa about this particular incarnation, this particular quality of the Lord, that he always fulfills the desires of his devotees. So to do that, let me put up one beautiful photo of Balaji as I sing this. Venkatachala Nilayam. Venkatachala is Tirupati Tirumala is also called as Venkatachala Nilaya. In different yugas, this place was called differently. Anjanachala in Satya Yuga, Vrishabhachala in Treta Yuga, Venkatachala in Kali Yuga. Venkatachala. Venkata means the one who removes our pain, one who can cut our misery. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I'm going to put the original picture of Balaji here. Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikunthapurvasam Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikunthapurvasam Pankajanetram Paramapavitram Pankajanetram Paramapavitram Shankachakradhara Chinmaya Rupam Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikunthapurvasam Ambujodbhava Vinutam Aganita Gunanamam Ambujodbhava Vinutam Aganita Gunanamam Tumburu Ganavilolam Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikunthapurvasam Makara Kundala Dharam Madana Gopalam Makara Kundala Dharam Madana Gopalam Bhakta Poshaka Shri Purandara Vitthalam Venkatachala Nilayam Vaikunta Puravasam Vaikunta Puravasam Vaikunta Puravasam. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's standing on the Venkatachala hills with his most merciful glance, he can liberate his devotees. His eyes are like the lotus flowers. Pankaja Netram, Paramapavitram. He's so pure. His purposes are pure. He accepts us exactly as we are. He unconditionally loves us. Makara Kundala Dharam Madana Gopalam. He's so beautiful. He can conquer everybody's hearts. And once we go to his Dhama, we never come back into this Matya Loka, which is the world of miseries. So we take shelter of this most merciful, most beautiful, and the one who decorates our existence and our hearts. So Venkatachalan Layam, Vaikunta Puravasam, Purandara Dasa ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Balaji ki jai. So now we're going to watch the story. This is the animated. It's an animated movie about Purandara Dasa. We're going to watch this, and I'm going to be saying the whatever, because the movie is actually in Kannada. It's my mother tongue actually. I don't think there is something with subtitles in English, and I didn't find it. At least there are 2 movies. I can later on post it in the group if you want to watch the whole movie later, but now we're going to watch this animation.
Lambodara kumikara ambasuta amara vinuta Lambodara kumikara.
This is Purandara Vitthala. That's his name comes from this deity. This is also a self-manifested deity. There was a gorgeous house of Srinivasa Nayaka, and there was a crowd in front of his house. And one day he had decided to take all his wealth, all his property. He took his family, he went outside the door. He just announced, he took the tulasi, he put the tulasi on the house, and then he said, Krishna Arpanamastu, I offer to Krishna. And he started chanting Vittala, Vittala, Jaya Jaya Vittala, Jaya Jaya Vittala. And people were like, oh my God, this person has 9 crores. And he's giving up everything for the Lord's service. What could have happened that he was such a miserly person? And what happened to him that he's giving everything up and going? Oh, sorry.
लाइफ में चैलेंजेस कहीं पे भी आए, मेरे आईसीआईसीआई प्रूडेंशियल लाइफ का 360 प्रोटेक्शन प्लान हमेशा काम आता है। आप भी रह सकते हो रेडी विद आईसीआईसीआई प्रूडेंशियल लाइफ।
Okay, the real life insurance is our faith in the Lord. So now we're going to get into the pastime of what happened. One day, the Supreme Lord took the form of a Brahmana and took a little boy along with him and went to this big, gorgeous diamond shop. And there was this Srinivasa Nayaka who was a little bit allergic to religious people and philosophical people. He told the old man, please get away from here. Don't stand there like a beggar. And that Brahmana just stood there. And the drama of the Lord began there. My dear, I am just a poor Brahmana. I have this son and I need to do his Brahmana initiation. Please be generous and give me some donation so that I can continue his education. Why am I responsible for your son's education or furthering of his spiritual life? I don't know. I can't help you right now. Go away and come back maybe another time. Come after a few days.
6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಕಾಲ ನಡೆದೇ ನಡೆಯಿತು ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣನ ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆ.
So not just few days, this Brahmana kept coming back again and again and again for 6 months. And he's saying, oh my God, this fellow just doesn't give up. He keeps coming back.
ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ನಾಣ್ಯವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ತೊಲಗು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ.
And he said, he poured that bag of useless coins and said, take one of these coins and go away from me and never show me your face. These coins are completely useless. They're of no use to me. Nobody is going to give me anything with that. So he said, okay, I'm going to do something else. And the Lord, in the form of this Brahmana, came to the house of Srinivasa Nayaka. She kept looking at this beautiful, very effulgent Brahmana. And even though he was looking old, but there was an effulgence in him that she felt such attraction, and her heart was touched by his devotion. And the way he was reciting the mantras were just beyond perfection. He had this wooden stick, and there was this little boy with this naughty smile. My dear sage, who are you? Where are you coming from? What do you like? What can I do for you? And my name is Narayanacharya. I came from Vaikuntapura. I have this little boy that I need to give him Brahmana initiation so he can continue his studies. And I'm coming here asking for alms. I want some help. Oh, my dear sage, I am helpless. I would like to help, but I don't have the freedom to give charity because my husband is very strict. I can't cross this boundary. I can't give you this charity. What can I do? You don't have to give anything from your husband's property. Just give me whatever you have from your mother's house. Whatever is from your mother's house, you have full freedom to give it to me. So please give me something that belongs only to you and not to your husband. The one who's asking for charity is a Brahmana. How can I say no? But if I give my nose ring, that's the only property I have from my father, my husband is going to kill me. What a dilemma, or what a spiritual dilemma, dharmic dilemma. Whatever happens, may Govinda bless. And she took out her nose ring and gave it to this Brahmana. And as soon as the Brahmana received this charity, he took it. He went straight to that same diamond store. I need some money, my dear. Take this nose ring and tell me how much this is going to cost. And he said, well, I remember this. This looks like my wife's nose ring. How does this guy, how did he get it? If you can give me 400 gold coins for this, you give me. It's a diamond nose ring. Otherwise, not. He gave it to him and he said, I'll come back tomorrow. He said, go behind that Brahmana and see where he's going to go. And his assistant kept looking at this Brahmana who disappeared in the temple. And he said, oh my God, this is very suspicious, very mysterious. So he closed a box, inside another box, and he put away this diamond ring, and he locked his treasury with the key that only he had. He closed the store, walked to his house. And the wife was sitting in the temple and worshipping the Lord.
ನಾಯಕನ ಸಂಶಯ
He came and saw that her nose ring was missing,
ಸರಸ್ವತಿ
and his suspicions
ಎಲ್ಲಿ
grew
ನಿನ್ನ
stronger.
ಮೂಗುತಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲವಲ್ಲ
Where is your nose ring, Saraswati?
ಅಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಕಾಯಲು ಸಮಯವಿಲ್ಲ
I will give it to you after my puja.
ಇಲ್ಲವಾದರೆ
I want your nose ring right now. If you cannot give it to me right now, I'm going to go and look for it by myself. Oh God, what am I going to do? If I don't tell him, he's going to be so upset. If I tell him, then he's going to create such a mess. And I can't take this humiliation and I don't know what to do.
ಬಟ್ಟಲಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ವಜ್ರದ ಹರಳನ್ನು ಅರೆದು
She just
ಮಾಡಲು ಸಿದ್ಧಳಾದಳು.
took another little diamond thing that was in the house. She powdered it and she made it into a poisonous drink. She was about to drink it, and instead of the poison that she had just powdered, she found the diamond ring that she'd given away to the Brahmana.
ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ಕ್ಷಣಕಾಲ ಸ್ತಬ್ಧಳಾದಳು.
She was shocked. Oh my God, the one who came to ask charity is none other than Narayan himself, because it is impossible otherwise for this miracle to happen. Narayana, Narayana.
ಮಗ್ನಳಾಗಿದ್ದು
She started to pray to the Lord.
ಪತಿಯ ಬಳಿಗೆ ಧಾವಿಸಿ ಬಂದು
She came running. She gave the nose ring to the husband, and the husband was bewildered beyond measure.
ನೋಡಿದ ನಾಯಕನಿಗೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಭ್ರಮಣೆ ಆದಂತಾಯಿತು.
He just got completely
ಬಳಿಗೆ ಧಾವಿಸಿದ. ಮುದ್ರೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ
flabbergasted. He went back.
ಆದರೆ
He removed all the boxes inside the boxes to see that the ring was not inside the box.
ಅಂಗಡಿಯ ಪರಿವೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ
He just rushed back to the house with the shop open.
ಸರಸ್ವತಿ
He said, Saraswati, Saraswati, something really strange is happening.
ಬಾಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳಿ ಮೂಕ ವಿಸ್ಮಿತನಾದ.
And then she explained the whole story, and he was just so ashamed.
ಬಂದ ಭಗವಂತನನ್ನು
Oh my God, the Supreme Lord came to my door, and this is what I did. What kind of a sin have I done?
ಯಾವ ರೂಪದಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಅಂಗಡಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆಯೋ
The same form that you used to come to my shop, I want the same kind of form.
ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ
I want you to come and give me the darshan again. Until then, I won't eat and I won't sleep. Please, my dear Lord, be merciful to me, forgive me and appear. So she could not eat and sleep either. So she stayed with her husband and she continued to do the fasting. Days and nights passed.
ತುಳಸಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ
One day she was worshipping Tulasi,
ನಾರಾಯಣ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷನಾದ.
and Lord Narayan himself appeared to her.
ಸಾಧ್ವಿ ಮಣಿ, ಈ 3 ರಾತ್ರಿಗಳ ಉಪವಾಸ ವ್ರತದಿಂದಲೂ ನನ್ನ ನಾಮಸ್ಮರಣೆಯಿಂದಲೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಪತಿಯ ದುರಿತ ರಾಶಿ ಭಸ್ಮವಾಗಿದೆ.
For these 3 days of austerity and chanting and fasting, your husband is now freed from all his sins.
ಆತನನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
But still there is some pride and attachment in his behaviors.
ದರ್ಶನ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಲಭ್ಯ.
He will be able to see me only if he gives up all his material attachments. Once he's completely done that, then I will give him darshan. I will give him his.
ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ಪತಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿದಳು.
She told him, this is what the Lord told me.
ಮಹಾಮಹಿಮನ ದರ್ಶನ ಲಾಭ ದೊರೆಯದೇ ಹೋಯಿತಲ್ಲ.
Oh my God, this lifetime is wasted because my Lord is not giving me. He is not willing to come and grace me. I'm such a sinner. I've offended him. Although the Lord came to me and I only spoke harsh words to him, I kept telling him to go away.
ಪತ್ನಿ ಪುತ್ರರ ಸಮೇತ
So he immediately left that bungalow, that big palace of his house, offered the tulasi leaf on that house and said, Krishna Arpana.
ಪರಿತ್ಯಾಗಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೊರಟ ನಾಯಕನನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ಜನ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯಚಕಿತರಾದರು.
All the village people were very shocked
ಲೀಲಾ ವಿಲಾಸಗಳನ್ನು
to see this sacrifice of this person, because he really wanted God. He wanted to connect.
ನಗರದ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆ
And he started to do Harinam Sankirtan. He started to chant and go around house to house, and he took charity of grains, and he lived a very simple life. And meanwhile, as he would go from place to place, he collected his firewood and he would do his worship, and he composed several songs. He and his family together have composed 25,000 songs. One night,
ಸ್ವಪ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ
Lord came in his dream.
ಪಂಪಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಕ್ರ ತೀರ್ಥದ ಬಳಿ ಇರುವ ವ್ಯಾಸರಾಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪದೇಶ ಪಡೆದು ಹರಿದಾಸ
Near Pampa Kshetra, there is a Vyasa Tirtha, a great devotee. I want you to go there and take instructions from him.
ಎಂದು
So he immediately moved away from there and went to Vyasa
ಹಂಪೆಯನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು
Tirtha.
ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ ನಾಯಕ. ಮಾರ್ಗದ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಅರಣ್ಯವನ್ನು ದಾಟುತ್ತಿರುವಾಗ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ಬಾಯಿ ಹೆದರಿ ಹೆದರಿ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಹಾಕುತ್ತಿದ್ದುದು ನಾಯಕನ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ
The wife was very terrified and she kept looking back.
ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಿದ.
And Srinivasa Nayak asked, "What is it? Why are you so anxious?"
ಸರ್ವಸ್ವವನ್ನು ತೊರೆದು
And he said, "We've given up everything. What are you afraid of? What are you holding on to?"
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ
I don't know.
ಕೈಟಿನಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ?
I don't know what it is that I'm so afraid. I just have just this golden pot for drinking water. There's nothing else.
ಆ,
And he said, that's the reason you're feeling fear. This golden pot
ಭಯ ತನ್ನಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ
is a
ತಾನೇ
bond.
ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ.
You just get rid of this golden pot and then the fear will be gone. So he just threw away that golden pot in the ditch there and walked away without any fear.
ವಿಜಯನಗರದ ಗುಡಿ ಗೋಪುರಗಳು ಗೋಚರಿಸಿದವು. ಪಂಪಾಪತಿಯ ಮಹಾದ್ವಾರದ ಬಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗವೆರಗಿದರು.
They all came to the temple of Pampapati and paid obeisances.
ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲಿಯ ಆವಾಸ ಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಿಷ್ಕಿಂಧೆ. ಓಹ್,
Right there was the Kishkinda, Bali's hometown. Chakratirtha is a very special holy place. They walked through that. They went into the river and they went straight to meet the Vaishnava saint Vyasatirtha.
ವ್ಯಾಸರಾಯರು ಶಿಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಪಾಠ
And he was teaching his students.
ಭವ್ಯ ದೃಶ್ಯ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿತು. ನಾಯಕ ಪುಳಕಿತನಾದ. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಹಾಕುತ್ತಾ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಎದುರಾಗಿ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ. ಶ್ರೇಯೋಸ್ತು.
He paid obeisances and asked them,
ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ ನಾಯಕರಿಗೆ.
"Welcome,
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಗಮನವನ್ನೇ
Nayaka."
ಎದುರುನೋಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆವು.
Nayaka is Srinivasa Nayaka.
ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಠಿಣ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ
The
ಒಳಪಡಿಸಿದ
Lord has put you through tough life situation and tested you.
ಹಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬರುವಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ
I
ಪರಮಾನಂದವಾಗಿದೆ.
am very glad and grateful
ಇನ್ನೇನು
that you have come
ಮಹಾತ್ಮಂಗಳತೆಯ
here.
ಸಮಯ. ತೀರ್ಥ ಪ್ರಸಾದವಾದ ಬಳಿಕ ಏಕಾಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರೋಣವಂತೆ.
Please come to the Mangalarati. There's going to be a special puja. After that, we can
ತಮ್ಮ
privately
ಜ್ಞಾನ
speak.
ದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ಗೋಚರವಾಗದ ವಿಷಯ ಯಾವುದುಂಟು? ಹಿಂದೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವೇಳೆ ವಿಜಯನಗರಕ್ಕೆಂದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನಾದರೂ ಪೂಜ್ಯರ ಪಾದ ದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ.
There is nothing beyond your knowledge. There used to be so many times I came to this Vijayanagara dynasty and I avoided to come and see you. And I feel very regret that I did not come and take your shelter before. And the Lord and the Vyasatirtha said, "Don't worry, everything has a right time, and when the Lord desires, things will happen." And he gave him initiation.
ಮುಂದೆ ನೀವು ರಚಿಸುವ
And
ಕೃತಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು
all the songs that you will be composing will be known by your name, Purandara Vithala. That will be your Ankita. Ankita means so like pen name. And so he actually became a very famous poet, writer. Today's day is auspicious. Today's week is auspicious. Today's star is auspicious. All the planetary alignments will become auspicious. All the yogas will become favorable for you. When you sing the holy names of Purandara Vithala, when you call out to the Lord and take shelter, everything becomes auspicious in your life.
ಗುರುಪವಿಷ್ಟವಾದ ಮಂತ್ರ ಪುನಶ್ಚರಣೆಯಿಂದ ದಾಸರು ಸಿದ್ಧ ಪುರುಷರಾದರು.
He became perfected in his studies, in his sadhana, and all his writings became treasures and gems of that time amongst the scholars. The purpose of life is to find the right teacher and surrender to that knowledge and follow. Even if we study all the scriptures without the mercy and blessing of a guru, everything is a waste. Don't waste your lifetime. Don't waste your lifetime just reading several books by yourself. If you don't associate with the devotees of the Lord, There is no point of you being successful or proud. Just become a servant of the Lord and become a disciple of a qualified guru.
ಹ್ಮ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಳಾದ ಪತ್ನಿಯ
And
ಕಡೆಗೆ
he acknowledged
ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯ
that
ದೃಷ್ಟಿ
his
ಹರಿಸುತ್ತಾ
wife was the main cause
ಹೆಂಡತಿ
for him
ಸಂತತಿ
to take up to
ಸಾಧಕವಾಗಲಿ
spiritual
ಗಂಡಿಗೆ ಬೆತ್ತ
path.
ಹಿಡಿಸಿದಳಯ್ಯ
So he wrote
ಎಂದು
the
ಕೊರಗಿ
first
ಸ್ತುತಿ
song about the wife. Whatever happened in my life exactly happened according to the will of the Lord. And whatever happened, happened so that I could surrender to the Lord and become of service to Him. I used to feel so proud and so miserly. And my wife transformed my thought process by giving me this form of becoming a devotee by holding this veena and holding this as a servant. So may this wife be blessed, and may people have such a wife who's spiritually favorable. I used to wear gold and diamond and feel proud, but now I'm very glad and grateful to be wearing tulasi mala. The tulasi mala, which represents that I am a servant of Sri Hari.
ಸ್ನಾನ ಸಂಧ್ಯಾ ವಂದನಾದಿ ಆಹ್ನಿಕಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸರು ತಂಬೂರಿಯನ್ನು ಮೀಟುತ್ತಾ ಭಗವಂತನ ಗುಣಗಾನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪ್ರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು.
Every day he used to go in the town and sing different songs of the Lord and purify people's minds and hearts.
ಊರಿನ ಜನ ತಾವಾಗಿಯೇ ಜೋಳಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಭಕ್ತಾದಿಗಳು ನೀಡಿದ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ದಾಸರ ಮನೆಗೆ ತಂದು ಹಾಕುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು.
And sometimes devotees would bring charity to his house.
ಭಾವನಾತ್ಮಕ ಪದಗಳಿಗೆ ತಾವೂ ಧ್ವನಿಗೂಡಿಸಿ ಆನಂದ ಪರವಶರಾಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು.
And everybody was so happy with his compositions. And he would also offer prasadam in his house and serve many devotees, because he would get a lot of charity. He would take everything and he would not store it, he would not collect it. Immediately he distributed it. He said, don't take loans, don't be in debt, don't keep for tomorrow, live in the today and now and have faith that the Lord has a plan for you.
ತನ್ನ ಆಸ್ಥಾನದ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ವರ್ಣಿಕನಾಗಿದ್ದ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ನಾಯಕ ಸರ್ವಸ್ವವನ್ನೂ ದಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸರು ಎಂಬ ಹೆಸರಿನಿಂದ ಹರಿದಾಸನಾದ ಸುದ್ದಿಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣದೇವರಾಯನಿಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಾಶ್ಚರ್ಯವಾಯಿತು.
King Krishnadevaraya was extremely pleased to hear the story of this man who gave up everything and became a saint.
ದಾಸರ ಮಹಿಮೆಯನ್ನು
After he heard about Purandaradasa, he wanted to meet him. So he sent for the devotee to be brought to his kingdom. Sorry, he came to the temple. He didn't ask he came to the temple to see them.
ಕೃಷ್ಣದೇವರಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಅಭಿಲಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ನಿವೇದಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ.
And he told him that I would like to meet your disciple Purandaradasa. Please give me permission.
ಕುಳಿತು ದಾಸರ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ಆನಂದ ಪರವಶನಾದ.
And he heard all the realizations of this Purandaradasa, and he was pleased, and he composed this particular song. Is your fortune greater or is my fortune greater? Let us discuss and see, my dear king, whether the property and treasures you have is more precious, or those traits of spiritual treasures I have is more precious. Your fortune is Lakshmi Devi, and my fortune is Narayana. And the Lord Purandara is the Lord of both Lakshmi and Narayana, means material wealth and spiritual wealth. I mean, he's not singing the whole song here, but that's... And the king was so surprised and pleased with the detachment. And so he gave him gifts, and he sent away the saint. And the Lord said, everything is going well. Let me test the determination and devotion of my devotee.
ಸಂಗ್ರಹವಾಗಿದ್ದ
So one
ಕಾಳುಗಳನ್ನು
day, a
ವಿಂಗಡಿಸುವಾಗ
person gave him
ಮುತ್ತುರತ್ನಗಳು
um, the rice which was filled with gemstones and gold. And he just took all the gemstones like diamonds and rubies, and he just threw everything away into the river and just kept the rice.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇದೇನು ದಾಸರೇ
What are you doing, my dear Purandara Dasa? Why are you throwing away the
ಏನು
gemstones?
ಮಾಡಲಿ? ಈ ಕಲ್ಲು ಹರಳುಗಳು ಧಾನ್ಯದ ಜೊತೆ ಬೇಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲವಲ್ಲ.
What to do? These gemstones are not going to boil with the rice.
ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದವರು ಈ
But you are a person who used to be a diamond seller. You know the worth and value of these gemstones. How can you be throwing it away?
ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ.
I haven't
ಹಿಂದೆ
given up
ನಾನು ಮಾರಾಟ
selling
ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದು
treasures.
ಥಳಕು ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಮುತ್ತು ರತ್ನಗಳು.
Previously, I used to sell superficially shining pearls and diamonds.
ಮುತ್ತು ರತ್ನಗಳಿಗೆ
But
ಬೆಲೆ
right
ಕಟ್ಟಲಾಗಿದೆ.
now, I cannot even put a value to the pearls and diamonds that I have in this spiritual life.
ಯಾರು ನನ್ನ ಅಂಗಡಿಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರವರ ಬಾಗಿಲ ಬಳಿಯೇ ನಿಂತು
Nobody has to come to a shop to buy those pearls and diamonds. Everybody can just stay at home and experience the treasures of the holy name and the mercy of the Lord.
ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಿಂತ ಈಗ ಪಡೆದಿರುವ ಸಂಪತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದು.
Whatever I lost in the past is nothing, but what I have gained is not just few pearls. I have gained a pearl called Rama Nama, Krishna Nama, and that is so much more precious. Please come, my dear fellows, and buy this pearl. The names of Krishna, the names of Hari. Please come and buy the pearls of holy name. Please buy them. Buy them with the faith. Faith is the price that you need to pay. And please buy the treasure of your master, as accepting the master who's Purandara Vithala, who's Krishna.
ದಾಸರು ಪಂಡರಪುರ
Invest in the right
ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯಿತು ಎನ್ನಲಾದ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಘಟನೆಗಳು ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಪಡೆದಿವೆ.
There's another very important story that happened in the lifetime of Purandara Dasa.
ನೀರು ತಂದಿಡುವ
One night, he was walking and he had to go and use his, he need to pass water.
ತೊಳೆಯಲು ನೀರು ತಾ
So he told this disciple, Appanna, please get some water to wash my feet. I'm going to pass water. And that disciple got a little bit lazy and went back to sleep, and so the Lord himself came in the disguise of that disciple and brought the water.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತೋ ನಿನಗಾಗಿ
Oh, my dear disciple, why did you take so long? Can't you be a little bit faster? And he hit the disciple on his head with that golden pot and injured the head. And then Purandara Dasa went back to sleep. And immediately the disciple woke up and said, oh, my dear Guru, I'm so sorry. I forgot to come behind you. I'm so sorry. I'll go and bring it.
ತಂಬಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟಿ?
What are you talking about? You just brought me the water. Where did you keep the pot?
ಆ ತಂಬಿಗೆ
The pot that I hit you with on your head, where did you keep that pot? Oh, I just got up now. I didn't even get up.
ನಿದ್ದೆಯ ಮಂಪರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಗೆಹರಿದಿಲ್ಲವೇನೋ?
Maybe you're just in a sleepy mind. I just took that pot that you brought and hit in your head. No, my dear Guru, I didn't know anything what you're talking about. When he went back and asked every single disciple, were you the one who brought me water? No, it was not me. It was not me. So he just closed his eyes for a few moments. And then he asked the Lord what happened. He immediately realized that it was none other than Krishna himself who took the form of the disciple. Oh no, what have I done? I hit your head with that pot. And immediately he came back to the temple to ask for apology. And he actually saw that the Lord's head was swollen and there was bleeding on his head, and the Lord had tears flowing from his eyes, the deity. And this news got all over around the city, the village, and everybody said, the Lord is crying, the Lord is bleeding, nothing is stopping the bleeding. The Lord's head is bleeding. And then Purandaradasa came inside the temple.
ಅತಿಮಾನುಷ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯವುಳ್ಳವರು ಎಂಬುದು ಜನಜನಿತವಾಗಿತ್ತು.
Everybody knew that this deity he was so powerful.
ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗವೆರಗಿ
ಮಹಾತ್ಮರೇ ಮಹಾತ್ಮರೇ ವಿಠಲ
Please, dear devotee, you know the Lord is crying and blood is and it's bleeding. We don't know what to do.
ಆತಂಕ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿದರು.
We are so concerned.
ಗರ್ಭಾಂಗಣವನ್ನು ಪ್ರವೇಶಿಸಿದರು. ಆಪಾದ ಮಸ್ತಕ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯ ಮೈದಡವಿದರು.
And he just massaged the head of the Lord.
ಮೇಲಿನ ಗುಬುಟು ಕಾಣಿಸಿತು.
ಇದೇನು ವಿಡಂಬನೆ ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗ?
What are you doing, my dear Panduranga?
ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ತುಂಬಿಗೆಯ ಪೆಟ್ಟು ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣವಾಯಿತೆ ನಿನಗೆ. ನೀರು ತಾಯಿ
How can the pot hit you and cause you so much pain? Why are you doing this, Leela?
ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಚ್ಚರ ತಪ್ಪುವಂತೆ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರಿಸಿದವರಾರು.
Who made my disciples go to so sleep that they couldn't wake up? Who made the one hit the head? It is all you only. Don't do this. It's none of our activity. It was all inspired by you, permitted by you.
ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾರೋ ಭಕ್ತರ ಸಂಗಡ ಸರಸವಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ವಿಠಲ. ವ್ಯಾಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣವಿಲ್ಲ.
Don't worry, the Lord is just playing some leela with the devotee. So now he's all right. He's not bleeding anymore. He's not crying anymore. The village is safe. You're all safe. You can go back. But that was not enough. The Lord took the form of Purandara dasa and went to the local prostitute. She was actually a devotee as well of Panduranga. So one day he entered the house of the prostitute, the Lord in the form of Purandaradasa. Oh, my dear Purandaradasa, please come. I feel like the Lord himself has come to my house. My house is purified. Where else will I go but your house, because you're such a nice devotee. I wanted to see you dance and sing. Oh, I'm very glad that you came, my dear Purandaradasa. Don't ignore me that I'm a poor saint. I have brought you gold and gift. I'm giving you this bangle which is bedecked with rubies and it's gold. And if you please me today, tomorrow I'll bring you another bangle which is also bedecked with rubies and diamonds. And all night she danced and pleased the Lord. And immediately he disappeared in the morning. Next day morning, the pujari came to the deity and saw that the bangle was missing. There was only one bangle in one hand of the Lord. And the administrators were informed. Everybody went searching for this bangle everywhere. Nobody found it. And then Purandaradasa came peacefully to have darshan of the Lord. And also the prostitute came to visit the Lord that morning. And in the hands of that prostitute was the bangle. She was wearing that bangle when she visited the temple. And the people asked, where did you get this bangle from? And she said, oh, Purandaradasa came last night to my house and he gave me this bangle. He also told me that because he was pleased, he will bring another bangle tomorrow. Oh, here's Purandaradasa. You can ask him. He will tell you the truth. Okay, bring this Purandaradasa. Let's ask him. Is this the man who came to your house? Is he the one who gave you the bangle? What else did he say? He said he'll give me the other bangle tonight. Hey, what is she saying? In the morning you're chanting the holy name and being a saint, and at night you're going to the prostitute. What kind of, how many days have you been cheating the public in this way? Tie him up and punish him right now. Oh, Panduranga, what is this going on? Are you satisfied? You're punishing me unnecessarily. I hit you with the pot on the head, and you are beating me up in this way. Are you satisfied with your revenge? He wrote this song saying, So are you satisfied by punishing me for some mistakes that I did? Just like you stole the butter from the gopis, and then you were playing so many tricks on the Brajbasis. So you have your own way of trying to teach lessons to your devotees. And you made me hit you with the pot on your head. And then you're making me being hit by these ropes, by these people. You took form of myself and went to the prostitute. And now you're punishing me in this way. What is your purpose, my Lord?
ಅಶರೀರವಾಣಿಯೊಂದು ಕೇಳಿಸಿತು.
And then there was a
ದಾಸನ
voice
ವೇಷದಲ್ಲಿ
from
ನರ್ತಕಿಯ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವನು ನಾನೇ.
there was a
ಕಂಕಣವನ್ನು
voice from the sky that said to everybody,
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು
I am the Lord
ನನ್ನ
himself who took the
ಕೊಡಿ.
form of Purandara Dasa and went to this prostitute's house.
ಬಿಡಿಸಿ.
It's not Purandara Dasa's fault. I was just playing games on him. Please release him. And so
ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ
and all the administrators
ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದು
opened the ties and stopped beating Purandara Dasa and left him free.
ವಿಠಲನ ದರ್ಶನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು ರೂಢಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿತು. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ವಿಜಯನಗರದ ರಾಜಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗ ಡಂಗೂರದವನು ನಗಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಬಡಿಯುತ್ತಾ ರಾಜಾಜ್ಞೆಯನ್ನು ಸಾರಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದುದನ್ನು ದಾಸರು ಕಂಡರು. ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯ ಚಿಲುಮೆಯಿಂದ ಪದವೊಂದು ಮೈತಾಳಿತು. ಭಕ್ತ ವೃಂದದ ಗಾನ ನಭಾಂಗಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಳಗಿತು.
Okay, so this song that is playing is speaking about the importance of the drums beating in the town and what is the purpose. So Purandara Dasa wrote this song called Kagada Bandi De Kamalana Bhanadu, Kagada Bandi De Kamalana Bhanadu. ಈ ಕಾಗದವನ್ನು ಓದಿಕೊಂಡು ಕಾಲವ ಕಳೆಯಿರೋ ಕಾಗದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಕಮಲನಾಭನದು. He said, my dear soul, there's a letter for you. There is a letter. Courier has arrived. It's a letter from the Lord. And read what is written in the letter. And the whole poetry is so beautiful. It says about how the Lord is telling you, you are a precious child, you are mine, you belong to the higher dimension, don't fall into the trap of Maya, give up all this miseries and selfishness and lust and greed and anger, come here my child, I'm here to embrace you and take you back to the spiritual world. And Purandara Dasa is saying, take that letter and read it. So that letter for us is Bhagavad Gita. That letter for us is Srimad Bhagavatam. That letter for us is the association of devotees. So every day we must thank the acharyas, our teachers, and the scriptures for giving us that remembrance again and again. So, I mean, the story continues. There are so many other things that happens, but this much part I wanted to show you. Yeah, we're going to end here for now. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Dasarendare Purandara Dasaraya.
Wonderful, Mataji, wonderful. Just wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, wonderful devotee. Wonderful pastimes. We should do some sessions like this about the life history of different saints. How
Yes,
they
yes.
were not,
It
how they were
motivates
not
us.
saints. They were not always saints, how they became saints and how they maintained and how the Lord
Yes.
did different leelas. And it's so beautiful.
Absolutely. Actually, when I was concentrating on it, I was thinking, Arey, what are the things I'm craving for? I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling shocked. I should not. I actually motivated me. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Please do share this thing.
Yes, yes. He's actually he's Narada Muni's incarnation. So in this pastime, what happens at one point, I mean, this is what I showed you is a short version. And then there's the longer one. I'll send the link of that movie. It's a real movie, like it's a movie done with human beings. This was just cartoon, right? It's short. But the other movie, it shows the details of, when he finds that ring and he takes that ring and he looks at it, and then in 1 second, in one moment, he gets to darshan. Inside that ring, he sees his real identity as Narad Muni. And he actually remembers his connection, how he was actually in the spiritual world. And he immediately has that moment of realization of who he really is. And in that movie, they show how miserly he was and how he used to lie to the Brahmanas. And there's the whole story of him transforming from a miser to such a generous person. So he was Narad Muni, and in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, after this incarnation that we saw the story of, he came as Srivas Pandit. Srivas Thakur was Narad Muni's incarnation as well. And he was a Grihastha. And we have Srivas Angan here, for those of you who have been in Mayapur. And he was an amazing devotee, amazing example of Mahaprabhu's devotee. So devotees come again and again in different incarnations, and they follow the Lord, Narada, Purandara, dasa, Srivas Pandit. So they come again and again and show us that the qualification is not perfection, it's devotion, it's progress. Yeah. All right. If you don't have any other questions or comments, we can end here. Shri Purandara Dasa ki jai, our Guru Parambara ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Dandavat